Hey everyone, it's the Hey Poopy podcast with that booty do from Poop to Pleasure to Health, hosted by me, Dave.
And me, Ellen, two curious people removing that stigma from your stinker. And why are we doing this? Because we love laughing and learning about butts and helping them to be the best they can be. And on this week's episode, we have Scooter Pie, who's a pro dom who does things in other people's buttholes.
Yes, Scooter Pie was very forthcoming. She gave a lot of fun-filled poop or poop-related, butt-related stuff, which she does, and she revealed some fun things, like in this clip.
There was a point in my life where I supplemented my daily vodka intake with drinking mouthwash, which I don't recommend to anyone, but I did it like every day for about a year.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
What kind of mouthwash?
Whatever.
It didn't matter. There was no brand loyalty.
Whatever. I was working as a sex surrogate, and so that was a really hard job. And so I would just like chug mouthwash in the bathroom between clients. And please no one do that. It's like really bad for you, and I don't know how I'm still alive. But anyway, so this one time I was taking a taxi somewhere, and I had been drinking mouthwash all day, and I just like had these farts that were so bad that I could sort of feel the liquid coming up. But then the cab driver, he was like, "Excuse me, miss, but what does that smell?" But it smelled like the worst farts you can imagine. I don't even know. So embarrassed because I knew that was why. And I said, "Oh yeah, I just like have some takeout food back here," and I just don't.
Yes, so you'll hear tons of that just by listening to this episode.
And do you want to know more about me and Dave? Well, head over to heypoopypodcast.com and you could see so much more, like from our merch. We're going to finally put our cartoons back up on there, and so much more, like supporting us on Patreon.
Yes, do the right thing. Be a subscriber, be a friend of the show, and enjoy the shit show.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
So we're back, everybody, on Dump Day. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, everybody, it's the Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave.
And Ellen, and this is episode 180, but it'll be always number 2 to us, our favorite number, and we have a very special guest today. We have Scooter Pie.
Yes, thank you for being on the show.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here.
Nice.
Scooter is not only our fabulous, gorgeous, incredible guest, but she is also a big fan of the show. And I just photographed her like a week or two ago, and she was like, "I would love to come on, but I feel like you've already had dominatrix have put stuff in people's butts." And I was like, "We can always use more. We love talking to people who stick things in their butts or other people's butts."
We always need guests, so
yes,
the more the merrier. If you two are a sex worker, possibly doing stuff with butts, let us know, and we'll have you on the show. So there's room for all.
Yes. And before we go into who Scooter is, besides what I already alluded to, I like to check in with our guests. How have you been pooping recently, Scooter?
Well, thank you for asking. Lately, it's been a weird back and forth between, I'd say on the chart, between 2s and 6s and very few in between.
Wow, that is a very confusing spread.
Yes, that I've been listening to your podcast for like 2 years. And so pretty much ever since, I look at every poop I have and I give it a number. I judge every single one.
Wow.
That's good and healthy.
So 2 and 6 then. So you're running the board there. You're running like the gamut.
Yes, my diet's very bad.
Okay. And look, it happens. We've all been there. We've all had those 2s. We've had those 6s, 7s a lot. So, yeah, you can just like figure out a way to whittle back to the middle.
Yes, if only.
Yeah, if only. It'll happen. I feel like it's going to happen for you.
Yes. And on the occasion when it does happen, when I do get that like wonderful like 4, I'm really proud of myself.
Nice. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
You just want to high five somebody like, I made that. I did it.
Yeah.
I just think when you see a chart and you're like, oh, that's the perfection right there. You get excited. Everybody likes to be close to perfect.
Yeah.
And it just feels good.
Yes.
And it's going to be a good one when it's coming out, like you just know it.
Yes.
It's an achievement.
Agreed.
Completely.
I'll go because I know Ellen will probably have some epic story. Maybe, I don't know. She usually does. So I didn't really. Excuse me. My voice is very hoarse from. It was my birthday last week, and then I feel like from Thursday till yesterday, I was doing some million things. So my voice is really like just woe out.
Dave's a party animal.
Yeah, party animal. So I have not been having party animal shits though. I feel like I've just been going to the bathroom like maybe twice a day lately. Today was pretty boring, but it started out great. I feel like I had a nice morning shit, and then before this podcast, somewhere like between a 5.5, 6. I ate some spicy ramen, like vegan ramen this morning or afternoon, and I think that just wrecked it a little bit. But I think I'm getting back on track. I got back in my vitamins. You know, I was gone for a while, and I didn't bring any of my vitamins with me and my little regimen. So now I'm kind of back on that. So things are gonna get back to normal. But yeah, nothing to write home about.
And happy birthday to Dave. He does not look his age, I would just like to say. But I'm glad you had a great birthday weekend after your big birthday trip. My check-in is quite boring. I really don't have much to say, except for I've been like taking apart and putting back together our kitchen because our piece of shit landlord is supposed to redo the floors. He decided to redo them by just putting linoleum tiles on top of the broken linoleum tiles.
Nice.
Not really working because they're already peeling up, but I have to live here. So until I get the city involved. So I think I feel like I've been a little bit stressful. If anything, over the weekend, I was more on the constipated side. So I think I did a suppository and took a Swiss Chris over the weekend to get things going. And then today I had a kind of stronger coffee. I usually make coffee at home, but my partner was like, do you want me to pick you up a coffee at the coffee shop? And I had pretty much explosive 6, and I like filled up the entire bowl. So it's probably an entire weekend of shit.
It just came
out today.
Yeah, no, I've been there. We've all been there, right? We just like constantly keep going. Oof.
Yeah. So, and I did like mushrooms this weekend. Gerald's brother was in town, and we were in New Jersey trying to stay away from the kitchen madness. And Gerald's brother saw our fancier bidet. We have a bio bidet in New Jersey that has like the seat warmers and the blower and all these different things. And as soon as he walked into the bathroom, because he had been on the road for like the entire day, he's like, I really have to poop. I was like, go right ahead. He was like, wow. He was like, oh my God. Because he has like a regular Snap-on bidet, but he saw the bio one. He's like, this is fancy. I was like, enjoy yourself. Enjoy, sir.
Nice. Yeah, that thing is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Gerald bought it for me for Christmas a couple years ago and lied to me on how much he paid for it because I'm thankful, insanely thankful for it. But I was like, you should not be spending this much money on a bidet. And then he finally told me the truth on how much he spent. And I still think you should not spend that much money on a bidet unless you're like a billionaire.
Well, how much was it?
Like $650.
Well, I mean, it seems worth it over time. You can make you happy.
I agree.
You're in the bathroom a lot, so you might as well be comfortable.
Every day.
I got to say, like, I'm kind of sick of I love my bidet, don't get me wrong, but after being in Indonesia, I really want a hose. It's just way more effective and like it just really gets in there. Like
a garden hose?
The old school, like, those kitchen hoses, remember, like, growing up, the little heads that you wash your dishes off with, like that. And like they're connected to the
sprayer.
It's like, it is like, or they call them the bum guns. This thing, pretty much everywhere we went, it was so powerful.
I think you should just get one. I should have gotten that for you for your birthday, but
I'll figure out. I got to figure out how to do it. Like, I mean, I live in a rental, so part of me is like, I don't want to deal with all that. But I mean, it's just hard to go back. I mean, I'm like, the bidet is great and everything, but this thing was just like, those hoses were the shit.
The shit to get rid of the shit.
Exactly. Oh my God.
So, Scooter, now that we know how you've been pooping, tell us a little bit more about what you do besides your poo.
Well, I am a Scooter Pie. I'm a sometime nightlife host and singer, and I am also under a different name, Mistress Rita. a dominatrix and all around fetish professional. And I also pet sit a lot.
Yeah, she does do that.
Nice.
She has been a pet sitter to us. I like to call them panties, a pet nanny.
Oh, I love it.
I've had panties in the past that are like, don't call me that. It
Please
sounds
call
too
me
much
that.
like panties.
I like it.
That's why I really thought you said panties. I'm like, okay.
A
Panties?
pet nanny.
Pet nannies? Paninis?
panini.
Paninis? Nice. So that's awesome. I mean, we obviously know who you are, so I'm really happy you get to tell the audience who you are. But again, thanks for being on the show. So it's just a fun treat for us.
Yeah. And so, Scooter, do you want to go straight into your notes, or do you want us to go into some of our regular questions? How do you want to do this?
Well, I just have some notes about like work stuff and just personal stuff. Although, unfortunately, I have never shit my pants. I've come close, but it hasn't happened yet. Unfortunately.
You're like, yet.
She listens to the show.
Yeah.
Well, if and when it does happen, please tell us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I tell.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be our correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooter Pie on the scenes. I just shit my pants in the middle of the subway.
Well, I am in Philadelphia, so I can be like the Philly correspondent.
Yeah.
Someone
There you
shitting
go.
on the street yesterday.
What?
Yeah, like just on the corner of Market Street. If this guy just like pulled down his pants and just, I was kind of proud of him. I mean, like when you have to go. and
Was
you
it a
know who
homeless
has to go.
person? Was it
I
a
wasn't
regular?
sure because I averted my eyes first time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, go
You
for
weren't
it.
like really looking to see like what his status was. It's just like he's
No.
just taking a shit.
None of my business.
Yeah. At that
What are
point,
the
you're all
public-
equal.
What are the public bathrooms in Philly like? Is it like New York? It's just abysmal.
It's like
and-
New York. Yeah, it's not great. Like during quarantine, the only reliable place of an open restroom, it was like at the one Barnes and Noble.
Mhm.
And that was like kind of it for a while.
Jesus.
My God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Well, in
not
New York-
surprising. So, but I mean, it's just annoying. You're like, great.
Yeah.
But we've got to do our research to make sure. But supposedly this month, November 2022, they are supposed to be passing a law in New York that all restaurants, no matter what the restaurant is, they have to let people use the toilet, even if they did not pay for anything.
Good. Then the
Yeah.
streets will be cleaner.
Yes.
Then it
Thank
won't be
you.
like yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Nobody should have to shit in the streets, even though it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, according to this, it was on October 13th, 2022. It says bathroom bill moves to full council vote. So that was in
right.
October. So I don't know. I didn't want to interrupt, but I just wanted to take a little quick peek.
Yeah.
But,
Good
yeah.
to know. I mean, this is where we need to break that news more open than anywhere else.
Yeah. So it says it went through. I mean, if it goes to a full council vote and they agree, then I guess by this month it should be a law. I don't know
Yeah, that's
when.
what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So
I think it should happen on November 19th, International Toilet Day.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, maybe that'd be great. But knowing the city, it won't.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to like take a look at that little note.
Good news.
Yeah.
So, but the closest I ever got to it, and some of my tales are a bit dark because they're from when I was a really bad active alcoholic and drug addict. So we're going to kind of go there. There was a point in my life. There was a point in my life where I supplemented my daily vodka intake with drinking mouthwash, which I don't recommend to anyone, but I did it like every day for about a year.
Wow.
Oh shit.
What kind of mouthwash?
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. There's no brand loyalty.
Whatever. I also did it a lot at work. I was working as a sex surrogate, and so that was a really hard job. And so I would just like chug mouthwash in the bathroom between clients. And please, no one do that. It's like really bad for you. And I don't know how I'm still alive. But anyway, because of the strong, you can imagine like nature of what is in. I don't even know what is in there, but like it was like constant diarrhea, which is like you kind of like take it. When you're drinking that much every day, like you're not going to have a solid bowel movement like ever. So it's like one of the things of getting sober is you start to have like solid bowel movements again. And it's just like a beautiful thing that you brag to your friends about. And but yeah, during the mouthwash times, it was just, and the farts from it.
Oof.
There's been nothing like before or since like what this, and plus like, not really eating or just like eating like dollar pizza and Burger King all the time. So this one time I was taking a taxi somewhere and I had been, like drinking mouthwash all day. And I just like had these farts that were so bad that I could sort of feel the liquid coming out. But then the cab driver, he was like, "Excuse me, miss, but what does that smell?"
Was it like, wait, does it smell like mouthwash or just kind of like...
No, it smelled like the worst farts you can imagine.
Oh, Jesus.
Just like rancid. I think it's rubbing alcohol that's in.
Probably I don't even know. So embarrassed because I knew that was why. And I said, "Oh yeah, I just like have some takeout food back here." And I just don't.
It's like Jeffrey Dahmer being like, "Oh, it's just bad meat."
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
that was kind of a close call, and then that kind of, but still, it didn't stop me from drinking it beyond that for some time. So that was the thing. And also during that time, I lived with a partner who was really into getting vodka enemas.
Whoa!
So I would give him vodka enemas like all the time.
Jesus.
And he'd probably get wasted from it. No?
Yeah, it would be really interesting to kind of find like the sweet spot between like almost blackout and just like a little tipsy. So I would have a special shot glass. Like I had like the heavy duty enema bags. I used them like for work anyway, and just kind of like mixing with, again, dangerous. I tried it once on myself.
Oh, how'd that go?
And it was really interesting to get drunk without swallowing anything.
Wow.
So I thought it was kind of neat. I just did it the one time.
I heard it really fucks you up. I've heard people like doing tampons in their butt, like soaked in liquor.
I'm surprised I never did that, honestly.
And it's supposed to get you like really like drunk fairly quickly. So that's fascinating.
Yeah. I never tried coffee enemas, but that seems like something I would have wanted to do. But as far as putting stuff in other people's butts, I love fisting clients at work. I love it more than doing strap on, partially because I am physically lazy and it's just like a lot of work. And also I like the way it feels. Like, I just think it's really beautiful and intimate. I mean, obviously I'm wearing gloves. Like, it depends how far you go. There's like the regular gloves, but then there's those like animal, like breeder gloves.
Oh yeah.
For inseminating animals. And they're really glamorous if you get the latex ones, because they're like opera length.
Cool.
But we also have ones that are like garbage bags, but because like you feel like the warmth inside. It's great on a cold day. You can like feel like the heartbeat almost. And like, I don't like going past the second sphincter. That feels a little bit too deep, but
what's the deepest you've gone?
Probably, I measure it by my tattoos on my arm. So when I'm doing my right arm, I think I've gotten like only to here, which is
so like mid forearm.
Yeah, I'd say 2-3 inches past the end of my hand.
So that's about like what? An 8-inch depth. I
also have very small hands, which I think is a bonus because they can just like
slide in.
Real quick. Yeah. And I have attempted double fisting. I had a very greedy guy recently who really wanted me to do, like, he was like trying to like yank my arm and push it in further. Like, excuse me. But I think I got like a hand injury from it because I got the one hand in like balled up. And I started like sneaking in, the left hand, and I got about like this far. And I think I like moved it the wrong way because I kind of had like cramps in my hands. So fisting injury, do be careful.
Do you have like a little like wristband? You should get a little like something to take the pressure
like
off.
Carpal tunnel thing. Yeah. Like, yeah, definitely.
Something for like carpal tunnel.
Yeah, a little fisting injury.
Yeah. Because like if you're doing it for a while, you really are doing like a punching motion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like wrist.
Taking a boxing class.
Some, like wrist stretches.
It's a workout.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. So when you're up there, have you found anything crazy?
Found any like treasures inside a butt?
Yeah.
Like a pair of keys, maybe. Or
yeah.
No, but mostly because I think any fisting enthusiast like is really fastidious about cleaning themselves, which is great. And it's about making sure you do the enema not right beforehand. That's a mistake. If you do it right beforehand, it gets like juicy.
Yes.
And you get like, it's not even that the poop is in there. It's just like brown water.
Yes.
And then you feel it kind of like swishing around, and like, that's no good. So it's about like doing it, I don't know, the night before to just a few hours before. So I've never had like a, messy, like real muddy fisting, thankfully.
But
Yeah, not my butt, but yeah, I haven't found. I definitely I loved your interview with Mistress Natalie. She's someone I've known and loved and worked with for back in the day for a long time.
The best.
And I've never done the creative insertables. I loved her story about the Easter eggs, but that's because I think I'm a lazy down, but also I just like to work with what's available to me. So I just like using my nails a lot and just mostly using my hands.
Okay, you're more tactile.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for fisters out there? Yeah.
Well, I would say, this is the obvious stuff, make sure your nails are short enough. I once accidentally did make someone bleed a little bit because I think their tissue was sensitive. Yeah. Ooh. And also, obviously, it's use more lube than you think you possibly need. I like using silicone lube just because with water-based lube, you have to keep reapplying more often. My favorite brand is called Swiss Navy just because I think the packaging is cute. I think it's sort of marketed toward gay men, but I don't know. I like it. And just obviously going really, really, really slow.
Right. Don't just jump in full fist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that wouldn't work.
You're like, bam. You said you got small hands.
Not a punch.
You got small hands.
It's just the duck bill and the working in. But you'd be surprised. Sometimes people are really ready. But it's just I like to just spend a really long time just with one finger. Just to get somebody just really, really relaxed. So
plus you're teasing them. Don't give them everything right away.
Teasing them. Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
They don't get your whole hand and arm. They got to work up to that.
That's right. That's right. And then it takes up more time.
Exactly.
You don't get that whole hand. I'm like, that's cool. You don't have to worry about that. I'm good.
And also make sure that the glove is long enough for what you're doing because I've never lost one in there, but you could, if you're getting in further.
Oh my God. Has that ever happened?
No, haven't lost a glove yet, but I feel like the risk is there. So
especially if somebody like your client you just said who's thrusting your arm into you, it's like whoa, hold on.
Oh yeah. I once had this guy and I am very, obviously against wanting to work on somebody who is under the influence of drugs or drunk or anything. But I didn't realize that afterward, I think I figured out that the guy was on meth.
Oh shit.
Jesus.
Something fell out of his pocket and it was a little packet. And then I was like, oh no, but he was wiggling around and he tried to fully turn around while my hand was in him and flip my whole arm over.
Oh my God. It's like a wrestling move.
Yeah.
So I had to restrain him down to keep him still. So that's another thing. If you're the receiver, to be aware of the body mechanics of the person doing it to you.
There's actually a legal wrestling move where you can stick your finger in your opponent's butthole.
Really?
Yeah, you have to Google it.
That sounds like you're making it up.
I know.
Greco-Roman wrestling or WWE? Okay.
Yeah,
no, not WWE. Like Olympic wrestling. Okay. Yeah. There's a legal.
Pull down the shorts and go.
No, I think it's just a little tease.
Because it excites the other person so much. It gives them a boner.
Are you Googling it, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen what do you call it? Memes with pictures of guys wrestling. The guy's got his hand way up in there.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
I gotta take a look for it. There's all these rules on this one site, but yeah, I'll take a look at that. Well, maybe that'll be some news. That's fascinating. If that's a legal thing.
I can't believe I haven't brought that up until episode 180.
Well, I'm honored that it's happening on my episode.
Well, you inspired me with your wrestling butthole moves.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, we'll look into that later.
Yeah.
So should I just keep going through my other notes? They're kind of
yes, we love it.
Yeah,
let's see. So recently, my boyfriend had his first colonoscopy. So have you? I don't know if you guys have had colonoscopies.
I've had them.
Maybe I missed those episodes.
I've had them.
No?
Ellen's going for hers.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not at the age yet.
Yeah, I've had mine. I've had two.
So when you got yours, Dave, did they give you the color printout of all the pictures?
Oh yeah, I mean, in my insides,
the inside of your colon.
Yeah,
isn't that cool?
It's pretty cool. I was definitely making sure. I was you're studying it to make sure, I don't see any spots, right? Any kind of weird shit.
I think it's just a sign. Along with getting the lab report, they give you pictures, and they're just these little thumbnails, but you can see, and they're in color, and it's really pretty, pink. I'm really excited to get my first one. It's a few years down the line, but yeah, I just thought that was really cool.
Depending on how you do it, or if the doctor, or how how deep and everything they're going. You can get the first that I had, I was really young, and I was awake, but I was like, you're just like super high. And it's a giant screen, and you can see the camera. And he's like, "Oh, do you want to take a look?" And you're kind of looking, and you can just see everything. It's like deep sea diving, like when you see like those like little like robot traversing the ocean floor. So that's kind of funny. But the second one, I was like completely. I mean, I knocked the fuck out. So
how big? What's the size of the camera? Is it like
it's tiny? I mean, it's like on a core, like a little like it's tiny. I mean, it's not like a iPhone.
But I mean,
They're like,
is it the size of like a dime?
I mean, he didn't show me the camera. It was already in there. I mean, I imagine.
How big did it feel?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, it was so, you couldn't even notice anything. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I had a Flex Sig, and I had up a picture of the camera they used for that. The Flex Sig is only the first third because your colon's in 3 sections. So she only went up for the first third. So I could show you that camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah.
It completely looks like a medical tool. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
I can't say that it looks like a camera that you would do pictures with. You're like, oh, yeah, that looks medical.
So it looks more like something a dom would use in like a medical session.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I bet maybe there's a dom out there who like has that and takes pictures. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Put them on a video
People
screen.
get really into the medical sessions.
Yeah.
Like I've done like, they have like the anal speculums. They kind of make me nervous though. I feel like I'm going to pinch somebody because you put it in with the metal thing and then you lock it like a vaginal speculum and then you can just kind of peer in there.
Do you ever throw anything in there?
No.
You're like,
it kind of is tempting though. It's like,
you're like 2.
Well,
I don't know what I did with my, it's kind of like a butt speculum, but when Dr. Evan Goldstein checked out my ass almost now 3 years ago, he gave me one of them and it was like this clear thing. So that way, when he put it in, he could like open up the butthole, but see everything.
Ooh,
it's probably similar.
That reminds me. So the way I first learned about butt stuff and butt sex and butt health is I worked at Babeland like 20 years ago for a few years. And I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know about BDSM. I came out of the experience like, now I've been a career sex worker pretty much ever since. So that's what I got from like working at the store. But we would have these in-services for the staff and they were really great. There were these like free workshops that we were required to take. And the most memorable one was nicknamed Anal and Bagels. It happened at like 9:00 in the morning on a Sunday. And we were all there in the store. And Tristan Taramino, that like really well-known sex educator.
She's like the queen of anal.
Yes, she's the queen of anal, but she once worked at Babeland way before. That's where she got her start too. And then she wrote her book and all that stuff. So she was, coming back to her alma mater. And so she was telling us, answering all of our butt questions, like, talking about like how to put stuff in safely. She said to never do coffee enema. I remember that. But she had a live model, a person who, disrobed and went over. And then Tristan was like, this is my model, Jess, and they're going to present themselves. And then Tristan put in like a big, clear, like really big, clear butt plug so that we could each come up with a little flashlight and like look into the butt, like one by one. And we also had bagels.
Nice.
Anal and bagels.
I want to go to this class.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's still a thing that she or somebody else teaches, but it was informative and highly memorable.
Anal and bagels. Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really funny
If they have
song.
gluten-free bagels, sign me up.
Anus bagel, Urban Dictionary. That's a guy.
Oh.
Anal bagels. There's a YouTube thing. Yes, anus bagel. Oh my God, I even want to know what that is. That sounds like pretty insane.
Know.
Here we go. Anus bagel, according to Urban Dictionary, the sexual act of sticking a hot metal rod, curling iron, heated pipe, etc., into someone's anus, thus toasting the inside of their anus.
Yeah,
Ooh.
nope.
That's horrible. Nobody's ever actually done that.
Upon removing said hot metal, their anus will look like a toasted bagel. Hence the term anus bagel.
I don't think that skin works that way.
I mean, this is, Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary.
And Urban Dictionary knows a lot.
Has anybody actually ever done like a hot Carl, or is it just like, this sounds like a good thing? Really?
Well, yeah, it's like, where did they come up with these terms too? It's like somebody got drunk and high one night and they just thought it was funny and decided to call it a hot Carl after their friend Carl, you know?
Is that like just shitting on someone, or is that the one when you do? No, that's something else when you make a mustache on them.
That's a Dirty Sanchez.
Yeah.
Is the mustache.
But this
What's a hot Carl, Dave?
A hot Carl says mostly everyone is wrong. A hot Carl is the act of putting saran wrap over the face and taking a dump on it.
Oh.
Anal to oral is called a rusty trombone. Dumping on, I knew that. Dumping on the chest is a Cleveland steamer. I've heard that before. Anal to tit fucking is a chili dog.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, interesting.
If you have the squirts then and maintain maximum heat and force a hole to the saran wrap and put skin in the mouth, you rewarded extra points. Carl would be proud.
Oh, Carl. The rusty trombone, that's specifically when you do a reach around and you like jerk the dick off while because it's like trombone.
That's what I thought. According to this says anal to oral is considered a rusty trombone, but I've heard that's like ass to mouth.
Include the arm motion, though.
I think porn
agree.
just said, let's just call it ass to mouth. And keep it
ATM,
simple.
right? ATM machine.
I a very long time ago, I did have a boyfriend who liked that, and we just called it that. We just would be like, "Hey, do you want to listen to him?" So it just became kind of nice.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
rusty trombone. Yeah, that's a pretty funny one too. Yeah, I've heard of all those weird ones. Like, they're so fucking funny though. The names are the best. Yeah, it says. Well, this one says when a chick eats your ass out and gives you a stroke job at the same time.
Yeah.
Dude, she was a freak. She was into the rusty trombone. Yeah. So I think these are pretty funny. Yeah, rusty trombone. That's always makes me laugh.
Well, maybe at some point you two should invent like a name for some outlandish butt or poop related act. Then it will somehow end up on Urban Dictionary.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll have to work on that one.
We can only hope, right? It's like my life goal to be on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, totally. Well, back when Runaround Sue and I used to do Shaken and Stirred, which was a burlesque dance party that happened in New York City a few years ago.
Super fun show.
Yeah.
It was like my favorite shows.
We used to do this game. And it would be you get two people from the audience to like mime a sex act based on the name. But we would mess with them by making them up sometimes. So one time she and I saw in Virginia, there was a car wash called the Splash and Dash. So we would always we would pretend it was a real sex act and be like, okay, now act out the Splash and Dash. And like, we would see what people would think it was.
I loved those are one of my favorite contests you guys did because I forgot who it was, but someone for the Splash and Dash did a thing where they did this they mimicked like a squirt and they just ran off the stage.
I remember the squirting and
and then they just took off.
That one.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, that was always a fun game.
Yeah.
There was an urban legend back in the day on the reason that Brad Pitt left Jennifer, what's her name?
Aniston.
Thank you. There's too many famous Jennifers out there. For Angelina Jolie is because Angelina Jolie ate out his ass.
I mean, it's a pretty good reason. He's like, look, I'm just saying, if you're not willing to do that, at least. She's like, oh.
Which brings me to my next point, which is, I don't know how much, over the years on the show, you all have talked about analingus, because that's my favorite sex act to do on someone is to eat ass. I just think it's really... I think it's a little bit taboo, and I think it's especially fun if you're doing it on somebody who's never had it done to them before. And I think it is fun, and people should talk about it more.
I'm trying to think, Dave, how many people have talked about it on the show. I feel like it's a subject that maybe has been passed over.
Yeah, I don't think we really talked about it really. So this is great. I'm glad,
Scooter, for you to bring it to us.
Oh, groundbreaking. Yeah, I'm happy to bring analingus.
I mean, I personally like my ass eaten out, but I have never done it to my partner. My partner won't let me go anywhere near his ass in any capacity. So, yes.
Well, at least you like it done to you and he does it to you. So that's...
Yes.
I don't like having it done to me really, though. I like to...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've had it done to me once. It was pretty awesome. I was like, it was different. At first you're like, oh, this is nice. But it's you know what it is? It's the mental thing. You're like, am I clean enough back? It's just like the whole time. You're like, that's the thing. It's like, so it's sometimes it's kind of like, I mean, it's hard to enjoy because you're like, oh my God, like, it's just like, you know, you're like, oh my God, what are you doing right now? Like,
yeah. Am I going to fart in your face?
yeah.
My partner always says that it's like sticking your tongue on a 9-volt battery.
Like the taste of it?
No. He's like the shock value. You're like, ooh,
Covered in chocolate.
ooh. Yeah.
You're like, ah.
One time I said to him, which I think I've said this on the show before, I was like, I think my G-spot's in my asshole. He goes, really? You just figured that out.
Nice. Oh my God. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. So along that line, too, I've been experimenting recently with CBD suppositories.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it was coming up in my Instagram ads. So I was like, literally, like, my phone thinks that I should get this and shove it up my butt. So since I'm sober, unfortunately, I can't have like THC stuff. So this is my little workaround. So
tell me all about it.
Yeah, I got some and it was like 4 for $20. And they're good. I mean, like you put it in there and like wait 20 minutes. And then it sort of is like the experience, if I remember correctly, of like what it's like to have sex stoned, you know, like it just kind of enhances the sensation.
Ooh. You have to text me the brand. I'm curious about this. I want to try it.
And you can also use them like vaginally. And so I like them so much that I got like the bigger pack that comes with the gel stuff too.
Ooh.
And so the gel stuff like works on all parts, like for everybody. So.
Oh, cool.
And this was an Instagram ad?
Yes.
That's funny.
Instagram is so weird to me. Like when I did my signing at the Museum of Sex, Facebook and Instagram was like, no, you can't take it out an ad, but they can do a CBD suppository.
Yes. Cause I think the language is just very vague and it's like, you know,
medical,
yeah, probably super medical.
Women to have greater arousal, but it doesn't say, well, here's a thing to put up your butt, you know?
Oh my God. I've got to try this.
Yeah, it's right up your alley.
Yeah. And maybe we should interview them for the show.
Yeah.
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 That'd be great.
Oh my God. Scooter, you're bringing so much. You're bringing so much stuff to us that we've never talked about.
Suppository, CBD, but so they must have THC ones for sure. I mean, if they got CBD, they definitely got THC ones.
You gave me that THC one once, Dave, but I never used it because it was expired. And I was just like, do I really want to fuck with my butthole? You know, like I've had so much trauma back there. Do I really need to put something expired in it?
Yeah, I mean, probably not. I mean, I don't know.
Fresh.
I forgot I gave that to you.
You said that a friend gave it to you.
Oh,
it was
yes.
like, try this out. And you were like,
I could not stop laughing. She's like, I know the person that'll use these. I have no problem with, I don't need suppositories. But I do know someone that uses them quite a bit.
Scooter, does the CBD suppository make you poop?
No.
You just feel.
It didn't act like a laxative suppository.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's one I'm looking at right now, and the dosages are 25 milligrams, 50 milligrams, or you can get one that's a mix of 12.5 THC and 12.5 CBD.
Wow.
And it's, yeah.
My asshole is hungry for that.
Enter your location. Sorry. But yes, that's awesome. We should, if anybody out there has a company that does this, let us know.
Yeah. Text me that link, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know more. Yes. What else do you have for us, Scooter?
I'm coming to the end of my list.
That's fine.
But the last thing is just, I want to talk about, well, I guess it's more fart than poop related, but it's like after I turned, so I'm 43 now. And after I turned 40, like, I feel like I fart constantly and I can't pee without farting. And that was never the thing before. Like, does this happen to everyone?
Farting and peeing?
No, like just more farting. I mean, I drink a lot more seltzer. I don't know if that's related.
Maybe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do say seltzer makes you more gassy, but it could be a lot of different things. It could be your gut biome. I didn't fart for almost a year when I was going through all the Lyme stuff, like because I had killed so much of the good bacteria in my stomach. I had to like start anew. And I used to be way gassier before Lyme disease, so I'm still not at the prime gassiness, but I mean, Dave's been around me when I've farted. It's not like I don't fart. But yeah, I think the body does change with age completely. I mean, I have the point where sometimes when I sit down to pee, poo comes out, and I didn't even think I had to poo.
Yeah.
And
that was my wife all the time. She's just like, the door's open, she's peeing. She's like, oh, I'm taking a shit now. I'm like, great. You mind closing that door?
Why?
Yeah. And my friend Marjorie said that to me recently. She's like, and she's my age, and she was like, I just sat down to pee and poop came out. I was like, yeah, welcome to my world. Like, yeah. So farting and peeing, yes, I totally see it.
Yeah.
And with age, it's your body just changes.
Yeah. It's weird. I'm not nearly as gassy as I was when I was younger. But I mean, not that it doesn't happen. It'll happen in weird ways. Where one like Saturday, I went to this party and did a bunch of mushrooms and smoked a joint, which I normally, it was like just a lot. And I, at one point, I'm just laying there and I'm like, oh my God, my stomach felt like it was just like a humongous gas bubble. And I didn't eat anything. I didn't eat anything. All I had was lunch. And that was at like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And then like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh my God. It's like, you just go to the bathroom and like just fart it out. Like just literally farting. I was just like, for like, you know.
Yeah, mushrooms, I feel like do that.
Oh my God. I was just so gassy. But I'm like, that's, you know, I don't really chew it up too much.
I know the party that you went to, and last year they had this delicious fried cheese, and that gave me like paint peeling horrible gas that was just loud and so stinky. And I probably ate about 20 pieces of that fried cheese. And I was like, was it worth it? I'm not quite sure. But if we ever have to do like a brown hour again, I'm just going to get that cheese and set the world on fire.
Right. Yeah. You have to eat that stuff like hours before and then see where you're at. But yeah.
You guys should do that as a live show so it's just more interactive so the audience can like smell it.
Yeah. We'll give out prizes to every audience member who comes up and takes a fart to the face.
Yeah. I don't want to smell that, but yeah, that's kind of funny. Oh my God. Well, should we go into some questions then? Questions.
Yeah.
We'll, we got a little bit of time.
We always have to ask our guest, Scooter, what kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
I am a Charmin Ultra Soft person.
Ooh.
I know some think it's too crumbly, but yeah, I go, now that I just moved into my own apartment where it's just me for like the first time. It's like, I get to make all the calls about the toilet paper for my very own toilets.
Nice.
Charmin Ultra Soft and over.
Cool.
Yes.
And do you sit or stand to wipe?
I sit, but sometimes I do like the squat.
Yeah, but you don't stand up fully like some people.
Yeah, you're not you're not standing up. You're not sitting straight up and whipping your ass. It's just
but I like how you guys call it the whoopie pie. It's on scooter pie, and that's the same thing as a whoopie pie.
Yeah, there we go. Oh God, that's so funny.
And do you have any first memories as a child of poops and farts?
Well, yes, I remember being potty trained because I remember how much my parents bribed me. So like my first like poop on the toilet memories are great because I remember getting a lot of like paper dolls and stuff. So I associate pooping with getting presents.
Oh, nice.
Has that like turned the rest of your pooping into like you feel rewarded?
I mean, it doesn't feel rewarded after a good successful dump though.
I most definitely do.
But you'd think with that association, I would have become one of the doms who does full toilet.
Oh yeah.
But I've never been able to do it. I've been asked to do it. I was once even asked to give myself a milk enema and squirt it out, which I refuse to do because I'm lactose intolerant. But yeah, I do golden showers, and I have no problem with other people who can shit on people. But for me, it's just I just don't do that.
If you did could you do like a soy milk enema or something that's not lactose?
You know, it's funny because at the time I was working at like a dungeon with a bunch of people, and we were kind of just like spitballing different ideas of what would work. And somebody was like, what's it called? Kefir?
Oh, kefir. Yeah.
They were like, why don't you try that? I was like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah.
You're like, I have to get paid a little bit more.
You're like,
for
do
that
I really
one.
want to do this?
And you said that you've never pooped your pants, but you've only come close. But do you have any personal cures for constipation or diarrhea?
Personal cures. I mean, I think I just kind of like live with it. Like I like regular old Pepto-Bismol if I'm having the like diarrhea end of things. The constipation seems to be sort of newer in my life. I was more of a diarrhea gal in the past, but I hear you talking about that Swiss Chris stuff, which I don't even know. Like, it sounds nice. It sounds like Swiss Miss, like the hot chocolate. So, I mean, I'm curious about that.
It's out of all the laxatives I've taken in my life, it's the most gentle. It is supposed to be more on the natural side, but it does have stuff in it but it doesn't, like, I've taken laxatives that it just cramps me up and I can't take it before bed and I'm just miserable with this. Just is like, okay, let's move. So I do suggest it. Plus, it was Louis Armstrong's favorite.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
The seal of approval. I will say, though, growing up, I always saw those commercials for like chocolate coated X-Lax and it looked delicious. And they would have it on like The Price is Right and stuff. But I never tried it. But like a few months ago, I got a boob job. And so, after surgery, like you get constipated. And so the doctor was like, get a laxative. And I was like, yes, I get to try chocolate covered X-Lax. And it tasted so good that I had to hide it because I was afraid I was going to be tempted to just eat it.
Damn.
Yes.
I've never tried X-Lax before, but
it is dangerous. I did that in the back in the day.
Yeah.
How was it when you did eat it? How was it?
I mean, it was fine. Like, it helped move things along, but
good.
It wasn't extreme. It was, that was the only time.
Old school. I like it.
And what other products do you use to help you go to the bathroom?
Coffee. I'm one of those, like, morning after the coffee kicks in, then good to go, like, in the morning.
Yeah.
And it used to be cocaine would always do it.
Over the weekend, I said something about cocaine, like oh, cocaine's gross or something to my partner. And he goes, great. Now that you said cocaine, I got to take a shit.
Seriously, the association. Yeah.
He says it just talking about it has to make some have to poo.
Damn. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Someone could try that if they're constipated.
Very Pavlovian.
Think about it. Yeah.
No, there almost every day when I'm about to get in the shower, Gerald all of a sudden has to shit, like his asshole opens up when I say I'm going to get in the shower, which pushes my entire day back between 10 to 15 minutes. So now I realized I was like, oh, I could just say, hey, cocaine. And hopefully I could because I would literally look at his stomach and I'll go, I'm getting in the shower. And he'll be like, fine, I have to shit.
That works? Wow.
Yeah. But now I think if I say
great.
cocaine, it'll be even faster.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
That works.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There anything else you want to bring to us? Otherwise, we could do shitty choices and the news.
Yeah, I think I covered all of my notes. So
Yeah, I think you came very prepared.
Notes.
All right, so we'll get into
stuff we've never even heard before.
Yeah, true.
I love it.
We'll get into a little game here. Shitty choices. So, would you rather have your parents wipe your ass for 1 month straight, like as the age you are now, or you wipe your parents' ass for 1 month? Both of them, both parents, if they're both with, obviously, or someone close. If it's not a parent, equal.
I would rather wipe the family members' butts because it's like I come into contact with butts all the time and they don't frighten me. So
Okay.
another butt.
Fair enough, Ellen.
I would love to watch my mother wipe my ass for a month straight.
Okay. All right.
I would enjoy that thoroughly.
Okay. All right.
I deserve that.
I don't think, I hate both these choices. They're awful. I guess I had my parents wipe my ass because they'd done it before. It's, like when I was a kid. So I just the thought of doing that to my parents. Oh my God.
Can you show them the bidet and say, squirt this first, then help me?
I think the sinisterness of this has to be just wiping. No bidet. It's just
Well
like
done.
old school, get in there.
Since I did that COVID medicine back in July, my shits have been so messy. I've not had a perfect 4 in months. When I shit, it's like it cakes onto my entire asshole. And so it takes forever to wipe that stuff away.
Even with the bidet?
No, Even with the bidet, I'll squirt the bidet and I'm like, why is there still shit there? It's like, it's more viscous.
Yeah. Shit.
It's
that
disgusting.
Sucks.
And it's all thanks to that COVID medicine that just fucked up my gut.
Oh, it sucks. I'm sorry to hear
Yeah.
that.
So I'd like to watch my mother be tortured with that.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to do a little news. I saw this a while ago, and a woman who blamed a fatal crash on pooping has a history of drunk driving health issues.
Whoa.
So this woman in Utah blamed a bout of uncontrollable defecation for an accident that left 2 bicycle brothers dead. So, yeah. So basically, this woman named Julie Ann Budge, 47, ran over these 2 brothers in Utah with her SUV. She had been convicted with like DUIs, DWIs, and such. And she basically, once she got arrested or the cops came, she told the cops her medical issue caused her to defecate without warning and swerve into the 2 men. And she was...
I'm sorry to laugh, but she literally blamed it on the shit.
Yeah. And which was, horseshit. No pun intended. Yes. But yeah, she killed 2 brothers like just from drinking and driving.
Jesus.
And it's just so fucked up, so sad. But again, like that was her excuse. She's like, I've had recently been to the ER with severe muscle pain and spasms and internal inflammation of unknown origin and many symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, she added. So she's blaming that as well.
Maybe she was drinking mouthwash.
I mean, maybe. Which, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not even saying any of these things she's saying is wrong, but it's like you're also wasted. So it's just like, let's just blame it on the alcohol, not the fucking fact that you shit your pants, which, is shocking, but I don't think I'd shit my pants and run over 2 people while riding a bike.
Hopefully not.
God.
Yeah, so that was really fucked up.
I don't know if you guys saw, I think I posted it yesterday. It might still be up, but I'll send it to you again. I posted a video of a woman getting arrested for speeding, or like she's outside the car and she's like yelling at the cop. She's like, but I really have to go to the bathroom. And she just starts shitting in front of him.
I've seen that before, actually, which is like, yeah, I mean,
Did
a
she
lot
get
of...
away with it?
The video just stops right there,
okay.
but he's like, you cannot shit here. And she's like, I told you I was speeding because I had to use the bathroom.
That reminds me, can I tell you the worst video on the internet I've seen in my life? It haunts me. It's just, okay, so, and this is a long time ago. It's some people getting into a hot tub. And
Yep.
Did you see with the girl and the diarrheas?
Yeah.
It's so, I just feel so bad.
Could you imagine?
Her.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
Like you see her all of a sudden like grab her stomach and look scared, and then everyone that just...
It happened so quick. And those guys, I mean, and kudos to the people that jumped out. They jumped out of there like... There was no like, let me use my arms to get out. It was like a straight jump out of the hot tub, which is the appropriate response.
That a lot.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's awful.
And like there's so many levels to cleaning up that mess that you have to drain the hot tub, scrub it clean.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Yeah. And like, especially if you're like, imagine it's like an Airbnb and it's not even your place. You're like, oh my God, how much is this going to cost?
What's that show, Dave, that you got me into, the Tim and Eric one where they shit? He goes to go in the hot tub.
Fuck, what was it called? The something brother. Oh my God. Shit, I can't remember. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But one of the
Beef
guys
Boys or something like that? Or,
yeah. Tim and Eric, the one guy, he has diarrhea, but he gets invited to be in a hot tub with his sexy neighbor, but he's afraid he's going to shit. So they hook up like a hose to his ass.
That comes back into their apartment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's like on the Tim and Eric on the Awesome Show Great Job when they have the commercial for the poop tube.
Oh yeah.
And then it goes like over your head.
That shit is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
God bless
with
them.
that awesome stuff, Scooter Pie, thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
And if you have anything you want to plug or tell our audience about, please please do so.
Well, for Scooter Pie stuff, my Instagram is at ScooterKPie. And if you're interested in what I can do with my hands, my website is mistressrita.com.
Okay. Mistressrita.com. Go check it out. Support Scooter or Mistress Rita at that point. And then, You won't be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
No.
But again, thanks again for being on the show. And thanks to the audience for laughing and learning everything but with us.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
For more info, go to heypoopypodcast.com or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. You can send in show ideas, guest requests. Check us out on Twitter at heypoopy, Instagram at heypoopypodcast, TikTok, heypoopypodcast, and our awesome new Facebook fan page. Go check it out at heypoopypodcast. We're also on Discord at heypoopydumps, or you can contact us at our new awesome hotline, 203-998-5579.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect for Entertainment. Produced by Dave and Ellen. Edited by Dave. Executive producers Stormy Leather. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy!